You've probably heard of the Iron Maiden, a coffin full of spikes. But here's the truth. It never existed. It was a 19th century hoax, cobbled together to shock tourists. But the real torture devices, the ones medieval people actually used, they were far, far worse. Let's start with the iron chair. Imagine being forced to sit in a heavy metal chair. The arms, the seat, and the backrest covered in hundreds of sharp iron spikes. And you're strapped down so you can't move. And then, beneath the chair, a fire is lit. Slowly, the iron heats, searing flesh against metal. The iron chair wasn't just torture. It was theatre, a particular favourite of the Inquisition. Victims were sometimes displayed publicly, a spectacle designed to terrify anyone watching. And if you think that sounds unbearable, it gets worse. The most infamous of them all, the rack. The victim is tied at the wrists and ankles, stretched across a wooden frame. At each end, rollers, and with every turn of the wheel, the ropes pull tighter. Muscles tear, joints dislocate, ligaments snap. The rack wasn't meant to kill, at least not immediately. Its purpose was confession. After all, when your body is being pulled apart, you'll say anything to make it stop. Just ask Guy Fawkes, if you could. After his arrest for attempting to incinerate the Houses of Parliament in 1605, he was racked in the Tower of London until the signature on his confession was barely a squiggle. But if being stretched until your bones pop wasn't enough, it gets worse. The condemned was tied across a massive wooden cartwheel. Then, with methodical precision, an executioner brought down a heavy iron bar, smashing arms, legs, and ribs, one by one. The broken body was sometimes left on display, the wheel hoisted high as a warning to everyone who saw it. This is what happens when you cross authority. One famous victim was a German gentleman named Peter Stump, and I use the term gentleman lightly. He was accused not only of being a serial killer, but a cannibal, a witch, and, the cherry on top, a werewolf. In 1589, he was tortured on the wheel, then beheaded, and his body burned. You've heard of the rack, which pulled the body apart. The scavenger's daughter did the opposite. This iron frame forced its victim into a crouched position, knees to chest, head bent forward. Once locked in place, the device compressed the body, crushing the chest and ribs, forcing blood to pool in the head. Some victims fainted from lack of air, while others suffocated. The device was conceived and used heavily during the reign of Henry VIII against Catholics, most notably Thomas Cottam, an English Catholic priest. Not only was he racked, he also endured the scavenger's daughter twice, before being executed a few years later. By now, you might be thinking it couldn't possibly get worse. But medieval ingenuity had one more cruel twist. Unlike the grand, theatrical devices, these were small, simple, and portable. A victim placed their fingers or toes between two flat metal bars. A screw tightened, slowly, crushing bone, pulping flesh, until the pain was beyond comprehension. And yet, the victim remained alive, broken and maimed, useless limbs for the rest of their life. So, while the Iron Maiden may have been a myth, the reality of medieval torture was all too real. These weren't just punishments. They were messages. Public theatre designed to break bodies and terrify everyone else into obedience. And that is the most frightening device of all.